Alright, Sumari to everybody out there. I know it's been a long time, but class is back in session. Yeah, man, we're on this 97 video right now, and I've been going for a minute, man. I don't even know how long. It's probably been about now 5-6 months. I think about 5 months. I know a lot of you are like, yo, where has this guy been at? Y'all know how I get down. I've been all over the place. But just to kick things off, I want to say thank you to all of those new subscribers. There's been a few new people who jumped on. Shout outs to you guys, House Vibes. I think that's the name I see. I think it's called House Vibes, but you know who you are. And watching the videos lately, new to the the family. And thanks to all those who you guys know who you are. Since I haven't been on here in a minute, I don't remember the names exactly. House Vibes is just the only name that I've just seen recently. But a lot of you have been contacting me, here and there, dropping little comments and things, and wondering when the next video would be up. And, here we are. So, as I said before, class is back in session, guys. Where have I been? I've just been, so you guys got to remember something, right? That we're all on different journeys, For a lot of us, the journey is the same. We have similar journeys, but we're basically all going off in different directions. So, I have my own training to get down to. I have my own training to go through, things that I'm always learning. It's a never-ending process. And I've said this in a lot of videos, learning, training, practicing, growth. It always happens, even for the most powerful of entities, or at least perceived to be powerful. There's always going to be things unknown that need to be or could be learned. So, for me, all the stuff that I've talked about in the past 96 videos, all of that is just barely scratching the surface of things that I've gone through in my own personal journey. And some of you may have experienced some of them. Many of them you probably haven't. But long story short, I was training and really going through my own thing. To give you guys just a little insight onto things that go down, right? It's like, for example, when the whole process of, what are you? And this is where you have to ask yourself, what are you? Well, what are we doing in this reality? What is this place that we call Earth, or, just the physical realm? What is it really? And that's a loaded question in itself. What are you? What am I? And what is the end game to all of this? And I was having a conversation with someone one day. We went out, and I don't know what they were trying to do. I guess they were trying to upstage me or whatever. I don't know. You get these characters, they're trying to come off as all intellectual, and they think they're dropping some shit on you. And depending on where you are, especially where I'm at, I just look at these cats, man. I'm like, all right, where are you trying to go with this? And I don't know, there's one individual trying to come off on some slick shit, and he was like, who are you? Do you know where you come from? And some shit like that. And I don't think he was ready for my answer, because, this guy was a character, right? Basically, he thought he was dropping some knowledge on me. And, I'm not knocking anybody. I'm not saying I have all the answers, but I know where I am, know where I come from, and I know where I'm going, with a lot of room for unknown things that are going to happen as well. But pretty much, he was like, I don't know what he expected me to say. I guess he wanted me to come off and be like, well, I'm proud to be an American, or some shit like that. And well, from what I picked up, I think he wanted me to come off something like that, and he was going to try to lay some kind of knowledge on me, like, no, well, actually, yeah. I don't know what he was trying to fucking do. But anyway, I was like, look, man, I am what I've always been, a multi-dimensional being of infinite power, creativity, and expansion that is temporarily focused in a three-dimensional physical reality. And that's what I told him. So when I laid that on him, it must have went over his head, because he just sat there for a minute just looking at me. And then he started stumbling on his words, and I was like, yo, no, what you trying to get at, man? Like, because if you want to go down this road and start talking about these type of things, pretty much you fucking with the wrong person. You're fucking with the wrong individual, because I can go down those roads, and if you want to go deep, let's go deep together, and let's really get into this. But if you're just trying to come out on some slick Rick shit and throw some bullshit that you picked up in, the ancient text of whatever you got off the internet, you fucking with the wrong guy, man. Anyway, so yeah, man, and basically that what I just said applies to all of us, man. Yeah, at the end of the day, you are a multi-dimensional being of infinite power, creativity, expansion, and you're temporarily focused in a three-dimensional physical reality. Like, for now, this is where your focus has to be at. But you still have all these amazing gifts, talents, abilities that it's up to you to figure them out and what they are. And just because it doesn't so-called bring in, money, doesn't mean that it's not a gift. A lot of things, people have talents, and, in this three-dimensional reality, having a talent has basically been broken down to, can you make money off of it, or can others make money off of you, exercising your talent. Now, there's nothing wrong with money, obviously. The way this reality has been structured, we all need money to, basically get through. It's not a necessity of life, but it is one of the main ones that has been basically orchestrated to, that's what's necessary to get things moving. But yeah, man, that's where you are. And when this is something that you really need to meditate on, right? Because a lot of people, I've met a lot of people have talked to me, and they'll say things like, yeah, well, I get it, I'm a multi-dimensional being, I'm all powerful, I'm all this, I'm all that. But then they fall backwards and they get back on some three-dimensional bullshit, and it's like, well, I'm all powerful, but Joe Diddley said this about me, and I'm gonna have to lay this nigga out. And it's like, yeah, but that's not, if you're still thinking about that kind of stuff, that's not, you haven't grown. You're still on the same nonsense. So you got to really think about this stuff, right? And you have to reach a point to where it's like, how much of the game do you want to play into? Because like, it really is just a game. At the end of the day, all this stuff, politics, what this president says or what this politician says or whatever group, to me, and trying to find out how to articulate this. Pretty much it comes down to this, right? We're basically living in a kind of dream reality that does have ramifications. Things do happen if you do certain things, and certain actions get certain responses by specific individuals. I don't have to sit here. You don't need holy text. You don't need the Bible. You don't need me or anyone else to tell you you should be kind to others, don't kill, don't steal, these kind of, you already know this. And this is not coming from some moral standpoint of it's morally wrong to do this, or it's against the Bible. It's just common sense. If you go around fucking with people, at some point you're gonna fuck with the wrong person, and they're gonna lay you out, or they're gonna kill you, or they're gonna come after your family, and just a whole domino effect of things could be kicked off. So you don't need holy scripture to know that. It's basic common sense. You do things to people, and nobody wants to be screwed over. Nobody wants to be enslaved. Nobody wants to be done wrong, because if you do that, you're going to create, the opposite. You're going to get certain reactions to certain things. So it's not even about karma. It's not about none of that. It's just a part of reality. You do certain things, and certain things can happen. So you have to be open to that. But yeah, so, for me, And the people that I deal with, or I shouldn't even say people, it's not people, but the individuals that I deal with, whether this realm or other, this stuff is childish, man. Like, I don't get into this stuff. I don't care what any president said or what this person said, point A and B and all that stuff, because it really is childish. At some point, it's like, how long have we been on this planet? And it's like, we've been here for a long time. We meaning the so-called human experience, It's been here for a long time, and it's 2018, and people are still fighting about religion, skin color, political parties, social classes. It was like no one has really grown, and for the individuals that have grown and have already gone beyond this and beyond that, where are they left, what's left for them? Where can they turn to? Where can they go? What can they do? And this is where individuals like me come in at, basically giving you the kind of, if anything, a kind of mental space that you can have of your own to be at, where you may be alone, you may have others, like me. Or if I'm not around, you're gonna have to just be on your own, but it has to be a kind of mental space where you feel fully well grounded in the reality that you're in, and at the same time understanding that you're also a part of all realities. And this is like, I see a lot of individuals, they're fucking mental processes, they're all over the place. It's like, today they're a witch, tomorrow they're a voodoo practitioner, next day they're a Hugan, now they're a Mambo, now they're back to being an atheist, they don't believe in anything. Now they're searching for different spells in a spell book. Now it's all about science, and they're just all over the place. And this is why, they say jack of all trades, master of none. They're jumping around to so many different, philosophies and concepts that they never really master anything. And besides mastering anything, the most important thing to master is yourself, and find out where you are in the mix of all this. And where you are is you're in the middle of it all. You're part of it all. But this is why a lot of individuals cannot use their powers. This is why they can't, get into these certain frames of mind where they can expand their consciousness and all that. It's because they're too much, they're spreading themselves too thin. They're literally just all over the place. They're hopscotching, playing hopscotch, they're jumping between different thoughts. And none of these ideas are really beneficial to the individual. A lot of them are limited. A lot of them have a lot of limited concepts that by design, prevent the individual from growing. And you have to come to, like, from day one, I've been saying it since the beginning, I'm a Sumari, I'm a Seth, I'm a Sumari. I've gone into videos what all that means, there's no need to get into it, but just very briefly, when I say Seth, Seth is just, you had the Seth that was here when Jane Roberts was alive, and, you can get into all that if you want to. You had the Egyptian Seth, or Seth. You just have, see it as just a portion of your personality. Just use it as a means of identification for that portion of yourself that understands where it is, and the bigger scale of everything in all parts of reality. It's just that multi-dimensional self. That's it. Don't get caught up on the names. And I say Seth. Some people might call it Jose or Maria or Bob or Shaniqua. It doesn't matter. Names are not important, man. The intent is. And the Sumari, that's just a family of consciousness, that, and once again, a means of identification for specific individuals that, lean more towards a certain way of thinking. And, from day one, I'm a Sumari, man. It's in the name of the title. And you don't see me jumping around for today. I may have talked about these things for, to get certain points across, but you don't see me today. I'm a voodoo practitioner. Tomorrow I'm a Satanist. Now I'm into Wicca. I don't jump through all that. I understand. At the end of the day, I've classified, or I've just come up with the term. I didn't come up with it. It's always been around. But hey, I'm a Sumari, man. What does that mean? Hey, I'm a part of everything. you know, it's a type of specific way. It's a consciousness, you know, and that has certain abilities and can move in certain ways. That's pretty much understands its place in the universe and knows not everything, but understands that it's a process of always of expanding. It's never-ending expansion, and you know, you have access to anything, man. It's all about. That's what's so difficult, right? I could tell 1,000 people over and over again, hey man, create your own reality. You know, it's all about you. You make these things happen. You don't need magical spells and, you know, candles and all this stuff. I mean, really, and I'm not speaking metaphorically or I'm just literally, you create anything you want to create, you know. So all these stories about gods and demons and magical spells and spell work and, you know, yeah, I'm even gonna throw science in the mix and all this stuff. It really comes down to you, you know. And what I said in the beginning of this video about you being a multidimensional being of infinite power, creativity, and expansion. That is what you are. You know, you don't have to believe that. I can't make you believe that. There's nothing I can say that's gonna make you say, yes, he's right. This is what I am. I'm a multidimensional being. You know, I talk about these things. I'm simply here as a reminder and someone to get you back on track because you've lost your way. All the things I've talked about, all the exercise I've put forward to the past 96 videos, it's up to you to go forward. I can't make you see or realize any of this stuff. But I can promise you this, once you go down these roads and you start, you know, getting more active and focusing on you, and you know, you do your meditation, and you do all the things we've been talking about in all these videos, you will in your own way find out what you are. Whether you want to classify or whether you want to, you know, connect yourself to the Sumari or not, that's not important. You know, that's just my thing and for a few others. But you know, you don't have to be a Sumari to be a multidimensional being. You know, you can just be you. It's up to you. It's all up to you, man. But you know, when I talk about Sumari, pretty much you don't hear other individuals coming out telling you this stuff, do they? The people you sit with at work and the bar, no one's talking about it. So this is what I mean when I say Sumari or Seth or Sumari as a means of identification. Individuals like myself who talk about this kind of stuff in this specific way, a lot of times they are Seth or they are Sumari. And I'm one of them, and there's a lot of others out there that you may not know about. Some may be on the internet that I don't know about. But it doesn't matter. We don't have to all connect up and be buddy-buddy. You know, the message speaks for itself. So, yeah, man, don't jump around into belief after belief. I understand in this reality that's like a process that people go through, trying to find themselves, trying to basically, what I should say, trying to return to themselves and come back to what they really are. So they hop around from one belief to the next, generally trying to figure out what they are and, you know, where their place is in all of this. And going back to what I was saying originally, you know, for people who have already come into this, you know, we have our own thing going on, man. And, you know, this is, for me, this is just one very, very small part of it where I put these videos on YouTube to try to help others who may be lost or may be very close to getting to where they think they need to be at, but they just need that extra push or that, you know, one individual to point them in the direction, say, hey, it may be over here. And or they may not be able to know how to articulate it and how to phrase, you know, talk about things like this. You know, they may have everything I'm talking about and have been talking about. They may understand all of it and just don't know how to phrase it or get it out. So they may be still using terms of spiritual practices and magical practices, and they probably don't want to use those terms, but they don't know how to, you know, release the information. So, yeah, man. A lot of us have already surpassed this stuff. So for me, you know, I laugh, man. Everything's a joke to me. People say, you think everything's a joke? Because it fucking is a joke. You know, I don't understand all this stuff, man, about, you know, people, oh, this guy's a Muslim, you gotta watch it. Oh, you know, this person's black. Oh, this white guy, you gotta be careful. You know, for me, it's like, I don't give a shit about none of that, man. Yo, I'm here, and everybody's gonna do what they're gonna do. You know, people who fall into cults or whatever crazy groups, or they want to blow themselves up and all that shit, they're just immature personalities, you know? They haven't found out what they are yet. They're still putting all their beliefs into other individuals. They still want to follow, you know, other ways of thinking that are not their own, and that's what happens. They end up strapping on vests, blowing themselves up, or grabbing machine guns and shooting out of hotel windows, and they do all this kind of dumb shit because they haven't come to terms with their own reality. They're still caught up in, it's everyone else's fault but mine. My life is like this because this person or these group of people did this to me, and this is why I'm suffering. You know, so they haven't matured, they haven't grown, they haven't reached the high point of advancing their consciousness to the next level. So there's always gonna be individuals like that, unfortunately. You're gonna always have those who refuse to advance. They don't want to advance. It's easy to just grab onto someone else's concepts, whether they be bullshit or just nonsense, and this is what they follow, and now they're ready to go kill others because no one else sees reality the way that they see it. And this takes many forms, whether it be religions, cults, crazy groups, political leaders, you know, it takes many forms. And you need to come over to this side, man. You know, stop all that bullshit. I'm chilling, you know, and it's like, I laugh because it's funny. It really is funny, man. But it's like, I'm chilling, man. Man, you know, the things that I've experienced, and this is just so far up to this point, things that I've been through in the past 5 months, a lot of my journeys, a lot of my non-physical experiences, a couple of physical ones, but the non-physical are usually more interesting because they, you know, don't follow any set pattern. They just happen, and that's what makes them beautiful. But it's like, there's an infinite number of other realities out here, guys, and a lot of you, maybe not people watching this video, but you might be one of them. A lot of guys, a lot of individuals are out here focusing on the least valuable aspects of life. You know, they run around. I mean, you look. Now, I've been in Japan for a minute, right? Almost 10 years, and since I've been here, like, there's a lot of crazy shit that happens back home in America that didn't happen when I was there, or at least I didn't notice it. And, you know, it started with, you had this, it was like the YouTube, what was it? It was like the YouTube Ice Bucket Challenge, right? So you had all these cats running around, everybody was jumping on it. Even like the ex-president, I think, ex-president Bush Jr., he was doing it. Everybody was throwing fucking buckets of water on themselves, and oh, that's just funny. It's like the newest boom. Then it went to some other crazy shit not too long ago. It was like the mannequin challenge. You had Hillary Clinton, you had all these people, you know, framing themselves like mannequins, and that was funny. Then shit escalated to more ridiculous proportions. It was like the YouTube set yourself on fire challenge. And it's like, okay, it's getting a bit odd now, but let's see where this is going. And you had all these cats running around, rubbing alcohol on themselves, setting themselves on fire. It's like, saw one kid in the hospital, he burned like 80% of his body. Some crazy shit, man. I'm like, yo, man. You know, you start to question, am I crossing into that imaginary barrier where I start to feel that I'm becoming old, and I look at younger people and go, you kids are crazy, this is not fun, and the younger generation is falling apart, the end of society. Or are people just getting more, you know, idiotic? You know, so when I saw people setting themselves on fire, I'm like, man, that's not even cool in other realities, man. Like, even in the multi-dimensional spectrum, shit, motherfuckers ain't setting themselves on fire. And then you get, you know, you had some pregnant woman, she killed her husband. They had, like, I don't know, a Desert Eagle gun. He tried to stop the bullet with a dictionary or some shit, and she shot him at, excuse me, point blank range, killed him. Now you got the newest thing that it's called the Tide Pod Challenge. And, you know, the Tide, if you're not from the States, it's a kind of laundry detergent. You know, you use it to do your laundry, clean your laundry, get your clothes clean. And they made some kind of small packages where it's like a little tiny package where they put the detergent into it. It may have different colors like red, blue, white, or just one color, white or blue, and you take this plastic ball of detergent, you throw it into your laundry, the plastic dissolves, boom, you got your laundry detergent. These motherfuckers out here eating this stuff. It's like, what? There's literally kids and adults running around saying, this is my Tide, they're on YouTube, like, this is my Tide Pod challenge, and they're putting laundry detergent in their mouth and eating it. And it's like, I've officially, this is like the highest point of stupidity, man. It's like, and they call me crazy. People watch my video and they go, this guy's losing it. What is he talking about? The realities. And it's like, these motherfuckers running around here eating laundry detergent for fun, for kicks. It's like, hey, and this one kid on the news, they were talking about on the news. They interviewed this kid. He's like, hey, gotta try at least one time. I gotta try it. Everything at least once in life. I'm down to try. And I'm like, in the news, the doctor's saying this will burn your mouth off. You could destroy your throat. They tell it, it's detergent. Yeah, I don't have to even go into the specifics or the science of it. It's fucking detergent. It's bleach. And even after all that, he's like, hey, man, never say never. At least one time. Everything's at least once in life. You gotta try it. I'm gonna do it at least once. I'm like, oh man. So these are the individuals that are running around here, man. They're unhinged. People who know me on a personal level, I don't really hang with people too much, man. I'm a private person. I keep to myself. I'm not really into socializing all that much. And I'm just putting that out there for people who, if you think I've ignored you in the past, or I'm, just being an ass and I don't want to talk to you. It's not about that, man. I try to talk as much as possible to individuals, within my realm of being comfortable, but it's not really about me being against each other. Like, me coming on YouTube, period, was like a big step for me to come forward and talk about all this stuff. Because generally, I don't like dealing with people, man. And it's like, I'm not saying I hate everybody. Quite naturally, I like a lot of people. But then on the other side, of course, as well, quite naturally, a lot of people I don't like. And the reason because a lot of individuals are unhinged. Meaning mentally, I'm not saying I'm like, the apex of consciousness, but I'm pretty open-minded, and the things that I deal with, most individuals will never will deal with this stuff ever in one physical lifetime. So they're gonna have to come back here a lot, and the information that I've come across is some things I can't even talk about because it's not really for people in this reality. Like, they have a lot of other things to get through and work out before they even get to this type of stuff. But you hang out with people are petty, man. This is why I get into the whole humans things, man. And it's like, you gotta see yourself as what you truly are, a multi-dimensional being. Humans are petty, man. Humans are petty. They get jealous easily. Not to toot my own horn, but it's like, this is when you know that you're a unique individual. You're on this path. It's like, there's certain things that other people go through that you don't. Like, I can't remember a time when I've ever been like a fucking hater on somebody. Like, oh, he's had a lot of girls, or just generally just being a hater on somebody. I can honestly say, like, I can't even think of any time, because it's just not me. Like, I don't hate on anybody, because I know everybody's got their own shit going on. If this guy has more women than, whoever, what's that got to do with me? That has nothing to do with me. It's nothing to do with you. And same vice versa for women. If ladies feel they're jealous because this person's man looks good, or she got more fashion or better bag, or that's petty human shit. That's three-dimensional nonsense that people have been conditioned to stress over and to put, on the high level, set it high on the list of priorities, man. None of that shit makes any sense. It's a waste of time, man. That's what I'm trying to say. And when you start going into yourself, when you start having these amazing, powerful, world-shattering experiences in other realms of reality, and you're doing shit, you're having conversations, and you're learning, you're teaching, you're doing all these things, and then you come back to this reality, and You see people running around talking about he's a Muslim, or he's black, or he's white, and Chinese, Koreans, and people are battling out. You're a bit baffled, for a minute, and until you readjust and come back and say, oh yeah, that's right, I'm not physical reality with just illiterate motherfuckers running around and just worrying about nonsense, but you have to readjust sometimes. And the deeper you go, the deeper you get into this, the more grounded you have to be, because like you start to get more stressed out, because it's kind of like, it's funny, right? Because it goes two ways. On one level, you're not stressed at all. On another level, you start getting pissed off. Really, the pissed off or stressed off point really stems from if you're around other individuals that are trying to force you back into that lifestyle. Because like once you get into this, where I'm at, and where some of you are going or reaching now, you're going to find it difficult to start arguing about politics. Well, it's not even difficult. You're just not going to do it, because it's not going to be a part of your reality anymore. You see things from a whole nother perspective. You feel things from a different perspective. And besides feeling, besides contemplating or thinking about, you're just going to know. Like for me, it's not a matter of, oh, well, what if there are other realities? What if there's this other world? What if, it's possible that, there's life after death? There's no what ifs with me. That's what it is. That's what it is. This is where we're at. I'm temporarily here in this physical reality, but at all times, even now as I'm speaking to you, I'm completely aware of other things that are happening, in other realms of reality, and all these things that are going on. So when you're at that level of knowledge and information, and even with that, what I'm saying, it doesn't mean I'm all powerful and I'm all knowing and I'm omnipotent. I've said it before, there's no such thing as omnipotence, because there's always new things happening and being created. But even with all this knowledge that I have and this level that I'm at of my development, I still, to some degree, I have to be a part of this physical reality. And I make it my business to be a part of it, at least, at minimal, as minimal as possible, because I'm not interested. It's not about, I don't have time for the bullshit. I'm just not interested. It doesn't interest me because it's not real. And that's the whole point I'm trying to make. It's just not real. It's not real. The things people are stressing on, they're not real. They are nonsense. People have, after years of conditioning, have failed to grow beyond certain petty, trivial things. And, for those like myself and others, why should we hold back? Why should we be trapped dealing with this bullshit? Because the rest of you guys don't want to grow and move beyond it. So I'm not going to sit here and live a limited existence because everyone else wants to sit around arguing about, politics or religion. It's nothing to do with me, because it's not the reality, man. So, yeah, man. I don't know what I'm going to title this video, because, like I said, I haven't been on here in months. Got a lot of things that I've been going through, my own training, amazing things that have been taking place. And, like I said, man, it's just a joke, man. Everything's a comedy. Everything's just a joke. It's working out. Aware of what's popping off in other places, and pretty much here to just try to steer those who may be on this path, to let you know, hey, there are some of us out here who are on this path and still going. It's a never-ending process, and we're going to keep going until this physical body is over with, and then I move on to the other realms of reality. But for now, this is where I'm at. This is where you're at. If you're watching this video, don't stress out, man. Don't stress out. Try not to get depressed. I know it can seem hard, because you may be coming into your abilities and remembering what you are now, but at the same time, you may be in an environment you got to deal with the bullshit, whether that may be in the realm, within the realm of gangs, or you might be in a deep hood that just seems like there's no way out. Don't feel trapped, man. There's always a way out. You just got to motivate and get shit popping, man, and look at things from the multi-dimensional perspective. You're a multi-dimensional being, man, of infinite power. If you feel you're trapped, you ain't using your powers. And that's it. You're not using your abilities. You're not using your talents. If you feel trapped at any time, you're supposed to be able to, at any point, you're supposed to never say you feel bored. Boredom should never be a thing. You see, If you feel bored and you're alone, you're supposed to be able to shift into other realms of reality and explore and learn. And then you shift back to here and take care of whatever you got to take care on this end. But you should never be bored. It should always be that inner reality and other realities that you can have access to. Going back to psychological time and all of the inner senses, which I've talked about in past videos, you guys should go back. I don't remember what video that was, but it's probably in the title somewhere. Just scroll through videos, inner senses. But yeah, man, it's supposed to all be growing and moving beyond this. Earth is not a trap. I know that this is a prison planet. We're trapped here. It's the Illuminati. It's the whoever you guys want to claim. It has nothing to do with any of that, man. Earth, physical reality is just one reality of many that you are in at the moment. You could have been in another reality. You know, it didn't have to be this one, but this is just where you happen to be at the moment. So don't get caught up in this is a prison and, you know, the gray aliens are trapping us here and they got to force. I mean, you hear some elaborate stuff, man. And I got to go in a minute, but the funny thing about these stories is that they're all real if the individual wants it to be. And that's what's unique about this reality. So you have a lot of individuals. This planet is full of people. It's full of conscious beings. And each one has their own version of what reality is. And for some, they could say, well, it's the gray alien. They put up these elaborate stories like the gray aliens or this group. You know, the Archons, they've set up a structure around the planet and it's like a special spirit box and it's locking all the souls. Like, that's some technical shit to come up with, man. You know? But at the same time, you talk about, well, you know, you got these demons here and there's angels and there's fairies. Well, why are they not trapped? Why are they not going through any of this stuff, but you are? It's very simple, because it doesn't fall within their realm of reality. They don't believe in none of that stuff. See, you have to, I'm going to finish on this note. You have to feel so powerful. I'm not sure how to phrase this. And it took me a while to get to this point too. So I know it may take you guys some time, but you want to wonder why am I not having my conscious dreams, or so lucid dream? That's what the kids are calling it these days. Kids are calling it lucid dreaming. Why am I not having these experiences? Why am I not going on a body? Why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? I'll leave you two big hints, 2 big points here. Point 1, the reason you're not going out of body, the reason you're not traveling at night is because you don't believe you can do it. That is as simple as that. You don't feel powerful. A lot of people say, no, I do feel powerful. You don't. Somewhere within your thought processes, you do not feel powerful enough. Because if you did, you'd be doing it. It's that simple. You have to get to the point where you believe deep down inside and know that you are so powerful that this shit is easy. It's like no problem. You can do it any time. You can't second guess it. You can't be like, oh, well, if somebody says, well, it's not that simple to do. Yeah, I know, it's pretty hard. Once you say that and you backpedal, you're already creating conflict within your mind. It has to be, without a doubt, I am powerful. I'm one of the most powerful beings in the universe. That's it. And if you're not saying you are the most powerful being in the universe, because there are many powerful beings in the universe, but you are one of the most powerful beings in the universe. And if you put that into your thought processes and get to the point where you actually believe it, nothing poses a threat to you, because you are one of the most powerful beings. So if you meet another person and this person proclaims or says they're powerful, it doesn't bother you. Don't let their, things that they proclaim or their accolades hold you back. Like, oh, he said he did this, or he can do it. It doesn't matter. That's what that individual could do. If you believe you're powerful, none of that shit's gonna bother you. So don't let it stress you out, man. You have to truly believe. You have to own your reality. And that's what it comes down to, man. You have to truly know when you go to bed at night, this is how it is. Or even besides bed, that's another mistake. People think all this shit only takes place when you go to sleep or when you meditate. I'm always in it, at all points, at all times. I'm always in my multi-dimensional, frame of mind. Just right now, I'm in a classroom, I'm in a physical reality, but this is just one moment where I'm making this video, but I'm aware of the other things that are happening simultaneously with this moment. So, this is what you have to get to. This is the level you have to get to go into these other realms. Something else I wanted to say, but it just slipped my mind. Yeah, it was that. You got to believe you're powerful. And damn, I can't get the other one. It's probably going to hit me as soon as I turn this video off. But yeah, man, you can, This is why people are not advancing. You don't truly believe it. You have to know and believe this is how it is. And that's it. There's no second guessing. There's no what ifs. There's no how about, no theories. This is what it is, man. And that's it. And if people try to challenge, you shouldn't even be at the point of having to deal with people. Oh, I don't believe you. I'm going to challenge you. And this is not how it is, because I read this in this book. Hey, man, whatever. To each his own. Do what you want to do. But I know this is how it is for me. So each individual is going to have their own reality, and they're going to be chilling. And you don't have to follow this way. You don't have to call yourself a Seth or a Sumari, but I'm just giving you one option. Hey, man, you don't see me stressing. You don't see me running around looking for, what's the secret spell to unlock whatever. Hey, it's all inside, man. There's no other easy way I could break it down. It's all inside. The power is all yours if you want it. You gotta want it, you gotta know, you gotta believe, and you have to just know that this is how it is, man. But nothing I could say is gonna make you believe that. Hey, I'm just here. These videos are part of one of my trainings on my journey, mission, whatever you want to call it. It's just a small part of it. I'm here, I make videos, and some of my fellow brothers and sisters are out there, maybe lost or don't know where to go. Hey, trying to help you, guide you back home. As Seth used to say, Jane Roberts Seth, the Sumari always come home. They always come home. They always find their way back to their guild or brotherhood, or whatever you want to call it, in society, whatever terms people want to use. The Sumari always come home. And you don't have to consider yourself a Sumari, but if you feel that you're in this specific frame of mind, or you think the same way that I do, and you understand and know how all this multi-dimensional shit is working, you may be a Sumari, you may just be another multi-dimensional being, but it doesn't matter, or not, names or whatever. Names are just names, because in this reality we need names. If we didn't use them, nobody would know what we're talking about. And it'd be too much open to interpretation if people go, no, he's a demon. He's a Nephilim. That's what he is. So I have to say Sumari, or people just start labeling shit. He's a demon with yellow eyes, and that's why he wears a bunch of rings, and I don't know, whatever crazy shit humans come up with, man. But hey, I gotta finish up. I gotta get out of here. You're not human. You're multidimensional, infinite power, creativity, expansion. Remember that. Gotta go. Love you guys. Seth Sumari, everybody out there. Take care.